Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Busting out of the bunker, coming at you live. It is 0 Dark 30. I'm John. This is the Prepared Mind channel. And if you want some facts you just won't get anywhere else, well, you've come to the right place. I tell you, Uman seems to hit the nail on the head quite often. The 72-hour American news cycle. Hey, got to keep them distracted, keep them scared, keep them confused. So every 72 hours, change the story. We can't have anything gaining too much traction or too much of the voluminous amounts of evidence to really pile up to anything. We've gone too long, folks. We've gone too long with this whole Hunter Biden thing. We've gone too long. So we need to change the headlines a little bit. So what happened? John Durham's report comes out. That'll be good for a little bit longer, and then they'll get rid of it. Because they don't want to have to take action. They don't want to. I mean, there are some really pissed off people, including President Trump, who says, hey, they ought to be investigated. Hillary and the whole gang, the FBI. I believe Senator Cotton says the FBI should be disbanded. Hillary should be prosecuted, right? I think I made those claims last night. That those are the things that should be happening. Those are, I think, valid concerns that people in a law and order civilization would want. But don't get your hopes up. If we've lived in the last 20, 30, 40 years with, government criminals going to jail for pulling their shenanigans, yeah, we could count on that. But that isn't what happened. So I'm going to count on exactly what has happened, and that is criminals getting away with everything. So, what is the next story? Oh, well, I got a good one that leaked out, so let's just talk about it. Nord Stream pipeline. Remember that huge story was gaining traction? Oh, you betcha. That was huge, right? Way bigger than 9/11, folks, as far as dollar value, as far as, affecting people directly. Way bigger than that. Nord Stream pipeline, blown up. And geez, no one caught. They tried blaming the Russians for blowing up their own pipeline, which is making them billions of dollars, billions and billions of rubles. No, don't want to blame that. Let's see. Oh yeah, can't blame Zelensky. Can't blame Biden. Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, who has been speaking up against Ukraine in Europe? Well, it's not the Pope. He's all for Zelensky and invited him for a nice sit down. I'm sure maybe even a lap dance. Who knows? Germany tried straying from the flock and got rounded up. Poland has done its job to make sure everyone behaves. Lots of threats back and forth, folks. Lots and lots of threats. So, well, Hungary has been the one. That's right. We've talked about Hungary in the past couple of months. We've also talked about Hungary in the past few years with its nationalist view, that is to say, its view that its country comes first before the European Union, before everyone else. Its leader, Viktor Orban, has said no more migrants. Screw that. Stuff it in your ass, European Union. You don't own Hungary. Well, it's been revealed. It was leaked to the world that Zelensky was planning on blowing up the oil pipeline that runs from, you guessed it, from Russia to Hungary. And that got leaked, folks. I mean, were they going to blame Russia for blowing up the pipeline that sends oil to its ally in Europe? And by ally, I mean a country that doesn't want to destroy other countries just because it won't cooperate with the banks and the banking system and the money makers and the money changers. That's right, folks. Viktor Orban, bad guy. How dare you not toe the line and suck up to Joe Biden and suck up to Zelensky? Well, this is where we're at, folks. These are the things they're doing now. You don't play along and they'll just blow your shit up. At what point does some other country in the world say, F you, and really get nasty about this? Well, let's just say that the country that gets nasty is Hungary. What is its option? Can a country like Hungary, can it bomb the United States? Would it be wise to go to war with the United States or Europe? The answer is no. So what option does it have? Well, there's an option, folks, and it's already being utilized by many, many, many countries. They're basically saying we don't want anything to do with the United States and its control mechanisms anymore. We don't want anything to do with the European control mechanisms anymore. We don't want anything to do with the West and their games. So we're going to start eliminating our contact, our connections, our reliance upon them. Following me here, camera guy? That's right. They're moving away from the petrodollar because that is the control mechanism. They're setting up their own alliances, both nationally, militarily, economically, and monetarily. This has been going on for some time, and now we can see how it works top to bottom. We're seeing it yet again with Hungary. Now, Hungary can be punished. They can blow up that or anything else there. They can try and assassinate Viktor Orban and say it was some crazy radical group. If that's what they'll want to do, they need to hold everything together, and they will go scorched earth on a country like Hungary or any other country for that matter. It's what they do. That's why Saudi Arabia said, hey, slow down there, Sparky. And they got a hold of Russia. And they got a hold of China. And they did some side deals and said, guess what? We're tired of this game over here where we used to get protected by the United States of America. And now we're paying a protection scheme, right? We're paying them to be protected from everyone else and being treated fairly. It's quite interesting, folks. Quite interesting. So could Hungary end up joining? The BRICS alliance, Brazil, Russia, India, China. 2/3 of the population of the world or more going over to another system altogether. Number of population is one thing. The amount of wealth is the other. Is the United States going to continue to create and build wealth if we have a destroyed economic system? If we have an anti-capitalist system that only benefits the super rich, will the country create wealth? No, it can't. I think that's where these people don't get it. The countries will not continue to create wealth. Essentially what they're creating is a style of government that'll create a very large Mexico. A Mexico in the United States, a Mexico in Canada, a Mexico in Australia, and a Mexico in Europe. Now for the very rich, it won't hurt them. They won't make nearly as much on an annual basis, but they'll maintain their power, their wealth, and their control. That's what they want to do. They want to maintain that, and they don't care if they destroy everything. As long as they have very poor people around them, they feel powerful, and they feel superior. And no one's allowed to fight back. No one's allowed to argue. No one's allowed to point out how evil they are, or they get erased. Like so many Americans have been erased for being, well, whistleblowers, or real law enforcement, or real prosecutors. You bet. Here we are. And do you think that John Durham, right, do you think he is not going to suffer for the report that he put out on Hillary and the FBI and the CIA and the government for lying, incredibly lying their asses off? Or did they soften his report enough and say, now you can just go away, Mr. Inspector General? Right, your report was damaging, but we'll do damage control, and you just need to go away. chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Semper Fi. Godspeed. Get prepared and understand that actions have